Hi, this is Doug Perry of Strategic Dwellings, your one-stop shop for all things related to Top Producer. We offer training, consulting, and big savings on Top Producer and other software for realtors and property managers. This is video number 2 in the Getting Started series. Today's video is on importing multiple contacts. Now, if your contacts exist on a spreadsheet or Google or Outlook or Goldmine or some other CRM, you need to export them to a CSV file. So what's a CSV file? CSV stands for comma separated value file. It's essentially a spreadsheet. So the first thing you want to do is clean up your data. Let's take a look at a sample CSV file. So file first. Okay, the first row typically is going to be a header row, and each one of these cells is the name of a field. So here we have the first name field, and all the values below it represent first names. And each row represents a record or a person. So the first thing we want to do is clean up our file. So you want to look for the obvious things, nonsense, gibberish. So we see down here that there's some stuff that doesn't make any sense. We can just go ahead and delete that. And we see in this row there's more stuff that doesn't make any sense. Then we might want to look for empty rows. So row number 3, if we scroll all the way to the end, we see there's no values. Okay, so we can safely get rid of that one. And guess what? We got the same situation going on with row number 5. Scroll all the way across, make sure there are no values. Okay, so then we can just go ahead and delete those. Alright, so we've deleted empty rows. The next thing we want to do is look for empty columns. Now we see that columns R through W do have field names, but there's no values. So we don't need those. We can just go ahead and delete those. You also might want to look for information which is in the wrong place. If you look carefully at row number 3, you'll see that in the email address field that there's a date. So let's go ahead and just delete that, and then let's drag this email address on over. And let's say that that's it. So those steps make up simple data cleanup. More complex types of cleanup might involve using the text to columns function. If you have information in one column that you want to split up into two or more columns, you would use the text to columns function. On the other hand, if you have information in several columns that you want to push together into one column, you would use the concatenate function. Now, we'll cover those in detail in the Going Deeper series video, but I just want to sort of introduce complex cleanup functions at this time. Now that you've got your data all cleaned up, it's time to map. Now that you've got the data all cleaned up, you'll want to save. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And now we want to go ahead and map the data to Top Producer. So we come over here to Top Producer, we hover over Contacts, and then Import Contacts. This screen appears. What you want to do is click the green button, Choose File to Import. And we're going to select our sample file. So before you begin to map your fields, the first thing you want to do is set the pipeline stage. So let's say that all of these people are new contacts. So we'll make them new. And we'll enter a contact type. Now you could put here buyer, seller, or any contact type you like. I don't like to do that here. I prefer to do that when we do mass update. Because if you make any sort of a typographical error, you put in an extra space or a comma or whatever, you might have trouble searching and finding those contacts later. But one important thing that you do want to do here is that you want to identify the import so that if anything goes wrong, you can quickly find them and delete them and start over. So we're going to call this, and then we're going to click Update. By default, contacts are assigned to you if you're a solo agent. But if you're a member of a team, those contacts can be assigned to any member of the team. What's important to know is that, say for example, a new agent joins your team and brings his contacts. Well, if you assign those contacts to that new agent, that agent and only that agent will be allowed to see them. Now, of course, the administrator will be able to see everything, and assistants can see whatever they're given authority to see. But there is a firewall in between agents and their contacts on a team. Now, if the field name on your CSV file is the same as the field name in Top Producer, then they will automatically map. So for instance, first name in our CSV file is also first name in Top Producer. But let's scroll down. Now, if the field name in your CSV file and Top Producer aren't the same, then they won't map. And how do you know that? Well, you look for the yellow caution sign and it says not mapped. So what you have to do is manually map it. So for street number, we want to go down to the primary property area and we'll choose house number. And then let's go ahead and map street direction. Okay, direction prefix is the field. And then street name, let's go ahead and map that. That'll be street address. By the way, on Top Producer Campus, there is a list of all the fields in Top Producer, where they're located, and what the fields mean. And we'll provide a link for that in the notes. Alright, so once you've got everything mapped, what you want to do is you want to click Start Import. We've only got a few contacts, so it should only take a few seconds. And if you go to the bottom of the screen, you'll see under Recent Imports that 4 contacts were imported. And in order to view them, you're going to click the button. And then you'll see our 4 contacts. Now, at this point, you can perform a variety of mass actions. You can do a mass open or send them an email or schedule an activity. We're going to do a mass update. So that brings us here. So let's make all of our contacts buyers for now. And then there's a variety of things that you can update here. But one of the most powerful things is the ability to attach an action plan in mass. So these are all buyers, so why don't we select one of our buyer action plans. Let's go with the 5-year buyer prospecting plan, the email plan. And then we're going to click Update Contacts. Top Producer is going to ask you, are you sure? And you'll click Yes. So now, if we want to do a mass open, we would select, then click Mass Open, and then we'll see that for each of the contacts we imported, that their name, their contact information, their address fell into place, and also contact type was assigned. We assigned buyer, also training import. And then if we go over here to activities, we'll see that all of the activities associated with the 5-year buyer prospecting plan fell into place. So in conclusion, in importing multiple contacts, first you want to go to your spreadsheet or Google or Outlook or Goldmine or wherever and export those contacts to a CSV file. Then you want to clean them up. And then after you've cleaned them up, you want to map the fields from your CSV file to fields in Top Producer. At that point, it's useful to perform maintenance as needed. Thank you for spending your time with me today, and if you'd like to view more videos, participate in a webinar, or save big on Top Producer and other software for realtors and property managers, go to strategicdwellings.com.